population requirement for tree wardens as well. Was that true, Bill? Or
I missed that, but
like if you have your population size could dictate the requirements for tree warden as well.
geez, I'm not aware of that. I know that there's a state law that says every town is supposed to have a tree warden,
Okay.
um, and it's left at that.
Where are we? Where are we then? How did the meeting end?
So we'll be following up. She was gonna do a little more research. We were gonna talk to some local communities. And see how they're approaching the problem, even just the Bridgewaters itself. Who they have as an outside person, how they compensate them for their time, things like that.
And she's got, we never heard anything from Michael. I mean, this woman has got a lot of experience from Wellesley and
Man.
Norfolk and other towns, and she's dealt with this problem before.
Try it again.
Looks like Shirley's having problems.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, would you? Okay. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can read. I know. I was trying to, Shirley. Let's try it again. Okay, Bill was talking.
It seems like it's in process. There's actual things going
Yeah.
on.
We'll certainly have a follow-up meeting. I felt good about her mood towards it. I think she's gonna move this faster than anybody has.
Yeah.
So has there a time's been set for another meeting? And then
Not as of now.
who's going to do the research then?
Everybody has a little part.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach out to the surrounding Bridgewaters and see how it works with them. And then there's some financial responsibilities too. We're gonna have a tree warden that, says all these trees have to come down. We're gonna have to make sure we have the resources to do that.
Well, first thing would be a tree warden, I think. All right, so I take it then, Paul, you're going to be emailing her back and forth regarding this?
Yeah, I'm gonna get some answers from
All right.
my piece and talk to her, and I'm sure we'll set something up again.
Well, this is positive. My only concern is that we don't let this go off into the wilderness. I mean,
I don't think it will. I got the idea from her that she's gonna get this done.
okay,
Don't you think so, Paul? Unlike Michael.
okay,
I do. I feel like she'll move very swiftly on it.
okay, that's good. All right. Okay, I will send her an email and thank her since I did talk to her, I will send her an email and thank her for sitting down with both of you, just to goodwill. Okay, good. All right. Just let me give you a quick update on we wanted to change the town code to get an outside person in on the board. Remember, those issues been going on. I thought that the second reading was going to be tonight at the town meeting. It's not. It's going to be the next meeting, and then it has to be advertised. Bottom line is, it has not been approved. It's the process of getting things done is long and torturous sometimes, but it will be approved. It just will take another month, I think, or 2 to 4 weeks before it's approved. Okay. All right. Let's get through this. Senior City tree planting, there's nothing new on that. That's been done. We took some pictures, which we can give you, Nicole, for the Tree City. Shirley has been great. She worked with Paul in the planting of the tree on Broad Street, and also there are 2 or 3 new trees on the Main Street also. 4 trees. Okay, good. 4 trees. Okay. Good. Shirley did that on her own. That's great. I mean, that's what we need. Yeah, I know. Paul. Shirley just said you're the one that planted them, Paul, so you get the kudos.
I
It
didn't
was
physically
nice
plant
too.
mine.
What? Okay. Um, Tree City, any update on that, Nicole? You're just gathering stuff still?
I will be working on that this month, gathering, so I'm reaching out like with emails just to probably really at this point confirm some. All.
Okay. Paul, you said, I'm sorry, Nicole. Did you finish?
I just said that I will sending some individual emails, to Paul and others just to
Okay.
items.
Okay, good, good. Um, Mitigation. You sent out the final draft. We had talked about it at the last meeting. Do you want to comment on it now, Nicole, or should we just, you want our comments? Nicole, you still there? Gone.
Take any comments.
I looked at it. It looked fine to me.
I just had a quick question. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes,
In the first paragraph, we mentioned the word fines. Uh, let's see if I can bring it up. And I kind of thought that should be changed to fees. Fines is a very negative word. And, that would be used if there's a violation. But up front, it would be a fee that would be paid to remove these trees. No?
What paragraph you talking about, Bill?
It'll take me a minute to find it now. In the preface,
Yeah,
or am I too late with this? I missed the last meeting. Trying to find out where we used this.
I'm looking at the draft that Nicole sent out
Yeah.
yesterday, I think, or today, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't see it.
Oh, God, it's there. Wait a minute.
it might be. It might
Oh, I
be.
see.
Can you
No,
guys
no,
hear
I
me?
see it. I see it.
Yeah, it might be there.
It says
Second
fine,
paragraph.
yeah. Second paragraph, Nicole.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
exercise provided us with precedent methodologies and fee
Yeah,
structures
that's
other
in,
towns
we
use
can,
to collect fines.
right. And that is true. That is what we did because not everybody, every town does it a little bit differently. So in some cases there are fines so that, we looked at fines or, um, we're proposing to do things a little bit differently, but we basically, or sorry, our regulatory structure is, they might have like a regulatory structure and that's where we got this guidance from. So we're not calling them fines, but other towns may, and that's like all of the data that we collected to just give us a range of how much it should be, how do people do it, what's the formula.
Sure.
But I think we could just reword it to say this exercise provided us with precedent methodologies and fee schedules that other towns use.
To collect
Yeah, we
fees
could
for,
just change to collect fees. We could change that.
That seems
To
either way,
fees.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Any other comments?
it seems that the pricing for removal of private individuals, single trees, seems to be very high. And I'm thinking of a big dead ash tree on Pleasant Street, about 115 Pleasant Street. there's a very large ash tree that's dying that's gonna have to be removed. Now, you wouldn't fine someone for removing a dead or hazardous tree, I'm sure. Is that correct?
No.
Correct. Just to clarify, this is not the same as this is not part of our tree ordinance, which protect in our public lands.
Right,
This is really simply guidance for the planning board when they enter in negotiations with developers to collect mitigation funds. This is to give them some guidance so that they can be consistent, but it is not, it is guidance. It is not a, and we are leaving a lot of discretion up to the tree warden when we have one, and or us and the planning board. Because I guess in my opinion, if something is unsafe and needs to come down, I would imagine that's a different conversation. What do you think, Ray?
No, I agree.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
plus, on top of that, the planning board has a lot of leeway. They can always bypass something in here if they want to.
Yes. This is just where they're at, where there's a substantial amount of tree removal for a very large development, and we added some language here in this last paragraph in the preface about promoting, protection of trees to the greatest extent possible. And that when, they decide to collect mitigation funds from a developer, here's some guidance for the purposes of being more consistent. I think that that's the recommendation that Ray had from Michael, and or maybe the planning board to just try to, obviously it can't just be ad hoc collecting a different amount of mitigation from everyone. So this would be a way in which they could be more consistent.
Exactly. I mean, that's, Michael did say, we've been collecting some mitigation money from developers over the last year and a half. And Michael did say that that is not the way to do it. And the implication was legally it's not the brightest thing to do. And that we do need this schedule. The question is, to me, is two things. One, should this, and I'll ask town manager, whether this should also be inserted in the zoning or simply in the subdivision control law. But unless I see nothing wrong with this. This is a guide for the planning board to get mitigation money for large tree removal areas. So I think we should move this along. And I told the interim town manager that we would be sending something to her shortly. So.
And what I did add, based on our conversation from last time, for the most part, the biggest change was we were debating back and forth whether we should define significant trees. We
Right.
decided we could provide a typical list, but make sure to clarify that it is not exhaustive. So what I have done is I went back to the lists that were shared on our committee. I think it was more like Pat and we were sharing them back and forth in terms of trying to come up with trees that we would recommend to go on the subdivision landscape list. I also kind of cross-reference with some guides for native trees of Plymouth County, just to give a kind of representation. And this is where I think we could use some review by the committee. But if we've got this long list of potential trees, and then I did add, note, this list should not be considered an exhaustive list. Additional tree species may be considered significant on a case-by-case basis. And likewise, something on this list may, to your point, Bill, if something is diseased, unhealthy, whatever the case may be, well then, we're leaving some discretion. So
sure.
it's up for discussion as to how to handle this particular list.
Great.
Okay. Anybody else? Shirley, can you hear? Any comment? Okay. If you didn't hear, Shirley just agreed with you, Nicole.
All right.
Okay,
And then nothing, yep, nothing else changed. The clear cutting stayed the same. The sample calculation at the end is, still the same as what we all looked at together last time. I think the only other thing that changed was um in this paragraph, I had changed to say for cutting individual trees determined to be significant by the planning board with the advice of the tree committee and or
Right.
tree warden. The following rate schedule should be considered.
right,
And that's really the only changes since last time, in addition to the list.
good. Bill, anything?
Good, I'm good with this.
All right, then I'll take a motion to adopt this and send it on to town manager.
I will motion to
Yeah.
adopt this
Wait a
document.
minute, Shirley, what would you say, Shirley? Yes, yes. Why would you want that before we send it? I mean, for us, but why do we want it in red print, sending it to the, oh, okay, I hear you. Shirley just said, if you didn't hear her, she would like the change put in red for our records. But when we send it to the town manager, we'll just send it a clean copy. That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so do I get a motion to adopt the mitigation schedule that has been put together by Nicole? Is there a motion to agree to adopt it? Shirley just moved to adopt it. Is there a second to the motion? Motion made, and
Second.
seconded by Nicole. All in favor? Aye, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Bill?
Aye. I
Okay.
don't know if I'm eligible to aye, but
Oh, I'm sorry, you're not eligible. Go away, Bill. So it's it's 3-0. Okay, great. And so what I will do, just Nicole, if you could just send me a final copy, and I will forward that copy on to town manager and see what happens. I did mention to her that the tree ordinance has already been sent. She said she would look for it. I don't know what happened to it, because I sent that to Michael back in August, I believe, when we approved it. Okay.
Excellent. How do we want to handle I will just write, I'll send our committee draft 3 for Shirley's records, and then I will, I guess, write final, because this doesn't really have like a header or it's not on letterhead or anything. You think that's okay for now, since it's got to be
That's
vetted?
fine. Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
okay.
That's fine. Okay. All right, we got all the important stuff done. Nicole, is there anything else that we should be doing regarding Tree City? Besides you working with Paul? Are there other things we should be doing to get this done?
We exchanged a few emails, trying the actual road signs that I think there may have been, I think Josh was going to order some. And I'm not sure if that ever happened, because I don't think they're in your hands, right, Paul? You don't have any updated. Okay. So that's still an action item. And when we do get new signs again, we can each year just replace the little 10-year, 12-year, whatever, wherever we're at. So we should only need to purchase the signs once.
Yeah, okay.
So
I did,
is Josh getting those or am I getting those? It wasn't clear.
Josh will order them.
I thought he was going to order them.
Yeah, and I forgot to remind him. I did have at the meeting I went to, I guess it was last summer, I did have those sticky signs, which I don't know if you noticed, Paul, I put one up on your office. You had Tree City and I had another one, so I just stuck it over the other one when you were gone.
So I think in addition to the signs, the other thing we have talked about is trying to do more with our Arbor Day. So
Yeah.
last year we added the poster contest, which I think went really well. We can do that again. Question would be, is there anything more we want to do? Part of our Arbor Day celebration with the committee.
Okay, just, well, bottom line for this year, what, is there anything you need from us, Nicole? Besides what you're doing? You're going in and out, Nicole.
Yeah, hold on.
Yep. Can you hear us, Nicole? You know, I hate this, these Zoom meetings. We should go to in person if we can. I know, Shirley. Hang on. All right, Nicole, can you hear me? Nicole's having trouble, Shirley.
Yep, there we go. There we go.
Okay,
I was
all right,
having,
okay, all right,
you
now,
guys hear me
again,
now?
bottom line, are we in line for getting everything in for Tree City for next month? Or do you need, is there anything else that we need?
No, besides what I mentioned before, that I need to verify some of the cost data again with Paul.
Right,
Um,
okay,
so we're good for this year. I think it's more if we want to beef up our Arbor Day celebration. We don't have to, but good, or are there more things we can do? We've definitely planted a few more trees than we did the year before. Finding ways so that we can accelerate what we're
Yeah.
doing. I know that we're all here.
okay, may I suggest at our next meeting, December, that we devote much of the meeting to where we're going from here? You know, I think we've done a lot, but I think, as I've mentioned before, I'm a little frustrated that we haven't done more. I would like to do another forum, and maybe we can talk about it at the next meeting. I think maybe a little different setup, but I think we need to do something like that. Maybe, as Nicole said, maybe something more for Arbor Day. Maybe getting involved in some of the town activities more than we are, and obviously getting more people. So maybe we can think about that for next year, next meeting.
And just to add to, the Open Space Committee would be interested in potentially partnering with us on something like that too. So maybe the more hands, the better.
Yep,
Um,
yep,
there are some beautiful spaces and new trails in town that have been, starting to promote. So maybe there is something we could do for Arbor Day at one of those sites. We're talking about some of the new parking areas to access some of the trails.
yep.
Could those use an extra tree where where a picnic table could be located or something like that? So perhaps there is more that we could do. Maybe we can, yeah, all put our heads together. I know the Boy Scouts are always looking for projects, so I think that if we could find projects, we could get a lot of help with other committees or volunteers. It's just a matter of us having to lead them.
No question, Nicole. I totally agree. We just have to, the outreach to other committees is important, I think. Yeah. Very good. All right, right. Agreed, Shirley. Shirley just said she wants, she would like to see a forum that addresses the fact that people should know more about what they can do with trees, what rights they have and what rights they don't have. And I agree. I think it's a good idea. We can talk about that, setting that up. All right. Anybody else? Is it possible to do a meeting in person, or are we? Do we have to do it this way?
I'm good with meeting in person.
You'll be around, Bill?
Yep.
Nicole, there's only certain days you could do it, right?
Mondays and Fridays.
By you, Paul, you think you could do it?
Yeah, I'm usually fairly flexible.
So if we set a meeting for a Monday or a Friday, Shirley, Nicole, you think you could do it?
Yes.
No, she said Monday or Friday. Because I think this is awkward. I think this has been a difficult meeting, at least for me anyway. So why don't we do this? Why don't I send out an email just to clarify your times? And maybe we could set up a in-person meeting for December.
I
Okay.
personally prefer it to be earlier than 2.
Okay,
If it runs a little late, I gotta fly out of here.
yeah, I hear you. Okay, what's a good time for you, Paul?
Anytime. I mean, I prefer the morning usually, but you know, early afternoon the better.
All right, I'll send an email out. All right, anybody have anything else they want to discuss? All right. I'll take a motion to adjourn then. Motion made to adjourn by Shirley,
Second.
second by Nicole. All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Aye.
Can't
Aye.
say it.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Let's hope we can, I really want to do December as a reorganization, sort of, but, okay. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ray.
Bye-bye, guys.
Sounds good. Bye.